Good morning, everyone. Today, our group will be presenting about the organizational culture and change. Organizational culture defined as a system of shared meaning held by members that distinguishes the organization from other organizations. And the significance in the workplace of organization culture is define the boundary between one organization, then conveys a sense of identity for its member, then facilitates the generation of commitment to something larger than self-interest. Other than that, enhance the stability of the social system, and after that serves as a sense-making and control mechanism for fitting employees in the organization. Organizational change happens when a company shifts its structure, process, or culture. This can be triggered by things like mergers, new technology, or market changes. Understanding both culture and change helps organizations stay competitive and support their employees during transition.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yohakini, and I would be presenting on question two. It's about analyzing organizational culture. So, as for A, let's take a look on the key components of organizational culture. So, organizational culture is like the personality of a company, it shapes how people behave, interact, and perform. So, it basically shapes the characteristic of a person in terms of behavior, interaction, and performance in something. Okay, so there are like five different core elements over here. The first one is values, second beliefs, third norms, fourth ritual, fifth symbols. So values, first of all, values means core principle or standard the organization stands by. Okay, so that means what that organization actually stand by. For example, it can be innovation, it can be customer service, it can be integrity. So that's what it stands by. Okay, the second of all is beliefs. For example, assumption is something you assume yourself. So when it's assumption, most employees thinks teamwork drives to success. So they think the more people are involved in certain activities, the more the result would be even successful. So the third one would be norms, informal guidelines on how to behave. So for example, it can be like as simple as how you greet or how you write an email to your colleague or your boss. Okay. And then the fifth one would be ritual, regular practices or ceremony. So regular practices or ceremony here means in the context of weekly team meetings. For example, you always attend weekly team meetings. If there's a meeting there every week, you attend it. So that is what regular practices indicates. And then ceremonies are basically you one of the closest ceremony we can have, for example, employee of the month or some kind of a reward ceremony. Okay, the fifth would be symbols, which is logos, dress code, office layout. So, for example, open offices for collaboration. So, when you have an open office space, it's easy for people to interact, and it eases the process of collaboration. And then, for example, logos or dress code. For example, you have a certain uniform in order to show your unity in the company. Okay, so moving on to B, types of organizational culture in real world examples. Okay, so here I managed to find three, which is culture, family like, collaborative. So that's basically how it's like this type of culture. It features strong focuses on mentoring, teamwork, and participation. For example, here the closest I can get is Google. So it promotes open communication. You can communicate openly. There's teamwork over there, which indicates team bonding and flexible work environment. If you see Google, uh, it's from what I know, the employees, they have a very flexible schedule. There are also nurseries in it, so it's very flexible for them. So it's basically like family kind of vibe over there. So adocracy culture, innovative and dynamic. This kind of culture usually you can see in companies that are usually innovative. For example, if they are creating a product, then they would use something like adocracy culture. Okay, so adocracy culture is basically emphasize risk taking, innovation and creativity. So for example, Tesla, which is constantly innovating and encouraging bold ideas. So Tesla is a car company. It always try to innovate new features, new things that can include in their product in order to attract customers, the creativity there. Okay, the third one would be market culture, results driven and competitive. So this type of culture is usually competitive. Okay, so the closest example I can get here is Amazon. So Amazon is actually very competitive since it has many other online shopping platforms right now. So uh, Amazon has a very high performance. Almost everybody uses Amazon, and it is also well known in the industry, and it's very goal orientated leadership, which means everything is very well structured. As I've said here, everything is very well structured, and it's goal orientated, which means they focuses on their goals even more. So that's all for me as for question 2. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Nur Shazana binti Asri, 18 DSK 23F1037, and today I will explain question number 3, which is about the impact of organizational change on culture. When a company goes through change, like getting a new leader, merge with another company, using new technology, or change the way things are done, the company culture also can change. So there are positive and negative effects. For the positive effects, number 1 is the change can bring new and better idea. Number 2, it can increase employee motivation and involvement, especially if the change match the company value. Number 3, it helps the company become more efficient and adapt to new situations. For the negative effect, number 1 is employee might feel confused or unsure about what is happening. Number 2, if the change is not explained clearly, employee might lose trust in the company. Number 3, some employee may not like the change because they are afraid of new things. Next, I will explain about the challenges and resistance during cultural change. Number 1 is employee may be afraid of losing their jobs or having their roles changed. Number 2, leader might not communicate clearly and transparently. Number 3, if the company merge, the different culture might not match well. Number 4, some employee may not believe the change will bring good result. So now let's look at the real company example. Number 1 is Johnson & Johnson. This is example of successful company. They manage change well by saying the company values and helping employee adapt new technology and ways of working. Number 2, Yahoo company. This is example of company that are struggle. They failed to adapt its culture to change in the technology world. They made poor decision and did not bring in enough new idea. So they feel behind. That is all from me. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning. Nama saya Nurul Bakis binti Muhammad Syukur. Nombor metrik 18 DSK 23F 1011. For today, I will presented about strategy for managing cultural change. First is clear communication. People need to understand that why is communication is very important to us and what will change and how it affect how we use them. So today, this day, we will use many type of communications. For example, use emails, meetings, and communications app to explain everything clearly and smoothly. And the second one is involve employees in the process. This process can change. It's easier when people feel included and needed by someone. For example, listen to their concerns and help them as employee. Let other employee help the other employee when they needed help. This can build a nice environment and reduce fear for any employees. Next is strong leadership support. Leaders should not only talk but show it through their actions. When leaders set the example for others employees, the employees are more likely to follow them and follow their instructions. And the last one is provide training and support. Since it's very hard if people don't know what to do, offer a workshop, coaching, training, or online learning to help employees adjust to their new environment and technology or way thinking of way doing their job. Okay, next one is the role of leader and aligning with visions. What leaders should do and change managers should do. First, help others to understand and accept the change. Second is keep the team motivated and focused. And third is solve problems and deal with conflict and problem right away. And fourth, encourage everyone to communicate and honesty. And next is about aligning change with the organization visions and value. Change should make what the company asks. For example, if the company value customer certifications for the new culture must keep that. When the change fit the company goal, it will help people to spot it. Why is this matter? Because without alignment, people may confuse. With alignment, change feel like progress instead of distraction. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nur Alani Fatidi binti Nordin. My number metric 18 DSK 23F1034. For today's case study, I choose Zeus Coffee. Why? Because Zeus Coffee is a fast-growing coffee chain from Malaysia. It's known for serving high-quality coffee at affordable price. Zeus uses technology and a digital-first approach to give customer a better and fast experience. It stands out from traditional cafe by being modern, efficient, and customer-focused. Also, Zeus make a big shift in its work culture. They move away from old-style F&B method and adapt a startup mindset. They focus on using technology, empowering employees, and encourage innovation. Steps taken to manage the culture change. 1. Digital integration. They introduce a mobile apps for ordering, loyalty reward, and cashless payment to focus more on convenience. 2. Flat structure. They reduce layer of management to allow open communication and fast decision making. 3. Talent development. They hire passionate young people and give them chance to grow through training and leadership program. 4. Community building. They create a family-like culture by calling employees Zeuses to build identity and belonging. Challenge faith. 1. Market competition. It was hard to enter a market already filled with well-known cafe brands such as Starbucks. 2. Fast expansion. Growing quickly made it tough to maintain quality and company culture. 3. Employee engagement. Not all employees easy to accept the digital change and new culture. Outcome. 1. More loyal customer. People love the modern style and local feel of Zeus. 2. Better employee engagement. Staff feel more motivated and stay longer due to clear career opportunity. 3. Rapid growth. Zeus became one of Malaysia's fastest growing coffee brand with strong online presence. Lesson learned. From Zeus we can learn 1. Technology shape culture. Digital tools not only improve service but also influence company value and behavior. 2. Empowering employee work. When staff feel heard and supported, they are more loyal and productive. Last but not least, culture must grow with the company. Staying true to core value helps keep the brand strong even as the company expands. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Sangitana, daughter of Rajesh Chandrasekhar, number metric 18DSK23F1025. In this presentation, we discuss several key areas related to culture change in organizations. We started by analyzing organizational culture, focusing on its key components such as values, beliefs, norms, rituals, and symbols. We also examined the four main types of organization culture: clean culture, adhocracy culture, market culture, and hierarchy culture. We discussed the impact of change on culture, covering both positive and negative effects as well as challenges and residents. We also review strategies for managing change, including clear communication, employee involvement, strong leadership supports. Lastly, we look at the steps taken to manage change with the challenges faced, outcomes achieved, and lessons learned. Recommendations for successful culture change: organizations should focus on clear communication, involve employees, provide strong leadership, and ensure the challenges aligns with organizational goals. That's all from me. Thank you.
On to the question section. First question is, how can leaders manage the impact of culture?
We give you 10 seconds to answer the question. The correct answer is leaders can manage the impact by communicating clearly, involving staff or employee, and aligning values.
Hi, now question number 2 and number 3. Can you give example of two companies that successful and struggle? Two companies that successful and struggle. The first one, Johnson & Johnson, was a successful company. They help employees adapt to new technology and way of working. Second one, company struggle. Yahoo was a company that struggled and failed to adapt their culture to change in the new technology world. So that's all from us. Bye-bye. Next question.
Hello everyone, so I'll be continuing on the question and answer session. So the question would be, why is leadership important in cultural change? So as for the answer, leaders play a very crucial role in companies, so leaders should act as role models for the desired cultural behaviors and motivating and guiding employees through the change so they will not be afraid and they will be comfortable in their jobs.